welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. Okay, so what we have here is a 1967 Camaro Z28, one of 602. I've owned the car since 1994, and just absolutely in love with it. It was a basket case when I got it, so a labor of love, and now I get to enjoy it.
Did it have
use my labor?
When I saw it the other day, the last time, did it have the stripes on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. This car was purchased by me in 1994, and it was finished and roadworthy back in 1999. So it's been on the road, and nothing's changed since 1999.
So you have this one, and then you have the green one.
Right.
That's your race car.
That's my 68, and I'm presently working on a 68 Rally Sport Super Sport big block car that right now is in the body shop.
And then were you getting a 69? You were talking about it.
I'm thinking about it. I just have to work on the wife.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Actually, when I found the 68 big block, I was really looking for a 69 Z28. And when I came across the big block car, I said, it's too nice a car not to go with. So,
okay.
So I went with it, and you know, I'm retired now, so it's a great.
But you still race the green one.
I still race the green one.
Okay.
We're thinking about there's a race going on in Orlando, Southern Stock Super Stock Association race. We're thinking about going up there. Be December 19th.
Okay.
So, and if not, it'll be probably around March. We'll do an NMCA race in Bradenton.
Okay.
So yeah.
So yeah. Well, I'll probably see you in Bradenton then.
Okay.
Maybe we'll throw a camera on the dashboard and let you.
Oh, that's awesome.
And take it down. We'll throw one on. So.
Absolutely.
But we've seen this car before. We're gonna take another look at it, and it's right next to Paul, down next to his big block, which we have some video that we took the other day of Paul's big block. And this is a, did we say that it was numbers matching block? So the block, the only thing that's not numbers matching with this is the transmission, because it's a M22, right? The one that you have in there is an M22.
You should have an M21.
Right, that's what you were saying when you found the, you weren't sure that it was even numbers matching or the rarity of the car until after you bought it.
No, I checked the numbers. It's a numbers matching car. It's an M22 with a 396 350. It's only 2018 built in 69 of that engine in the Camaro SS. What's different about this has the wrong manifold. It has an Edelbrock manifold and a Edelbrock carburetor. But everything else is original.
And then you've had the car for?
I had this car for about 3 years now, and actually the reason I got this car, I'll show you in a minute after you do some video. I had a 69 Camaro in 1969. I bought it brand new, an SS 396 350, and it was a rare car. It was burnished brown with a white interior, and I sold it after I got married, and it kind of bothered me after about 10 years. And I said I was always going to get another one. And everybody said I was crazy. And I said, no, don't say that. One of these days before I die, I'm buying another Camaro. And about 3 years ago, I found this in the shop. And I bought it. And I've been working on it now for about 3 years.
And you said you bought this in Venice, right?
I bought this in Venice.
Because I think we've done a video, about 100,000 of you have watched the video of the shop up in Venice that he bought it from. And they didn't know what they had, according to you, right? Like the rarity when you started looking up stuff in this?
Well, they told me it was a numbers matching car, but of course I didn't really want to believe it. They took the numbers, they took a picture of the numbers, and I verified them. I went on the Camaro research group, and I was able to verify the numbers and check the VIN number, which is over here, and everything's right. It's just all the numbers match. It's just 715 trim, which is the blue interior. The 7171 is the upper and lower on the paint. The 06A was built in the first week of June, and the engine actually in this car was built in May, and the rear end I I checked, it was built in May.
Yeah, you said the rear end, so everything kind of fits.
Everything fits. The rear end and the transmission are built before the body. And as far as I know, it's a pretty good numbers matching car. The engine's clean inside. I took the oil pan off a couple of weeks ago, and the engine is clean.
And you said, as far as you know, the interior is an original interior.
Either original or somebody replaced it.
But it wasn't replaced recently. It had been an old school replacement back.
A little while ago. And I'll show you a picture of my old car.
And then this has the nice wood steering wheel that came.
I put on.
Oh, okay.
That was an option.
Well, that's good. That's an option. That's an actual option.
That was an option in this year.
Oh, okay, I'll put some over here.
Actually, you're going to edit it anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, if you want, this was actually my first.
So this is the first.
This was my Camaro in 1969.
So you bought this one new.
This I bought brand new, and then like I said, I sold it right after I got married. I sold it with 13,000 miles on it for $2,000.
Wow. Couldn't buy the rims on that for $2,000.
No. And now you mentioned about the rims. If you look, it's got the Chrysler SS.
It's got the original Chrysler SS ones.
Right.
Not the ones they sell now, but the
original I bought
when they
them,
first came out.
Right. And I threw away in the garbage the wheels, the center caps, the trim rings, the manifold.
You could get them even when I was a kid in the 80s. You could get these for $25 at the junkyard.
But I threw them in the garbage, give them to the garbage man.
Yeah.
He just put them in the truck and dumped them. I didn't care worth anything. It was just rims and at that time. But I threw away the carburetor, the intake manifold, the exhaust manifolds, everything I thought I wouldn't use anymore.
Yeah. Well, this is, I mean, and this cow induction hood, now unlike the, if I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am wrong. I'm wrong so much you guys know how much I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, like the Chevelle cow induction hoods had like the cow induction, like big stuff that moves. But Camaros don't have that, right?
Yes, it did.
Oh, they did. Okay.
The original hood on the Camaro.
Okay.
If you got like the Copo,
right,
or the Baldwin Motion, or the Berger Chevrolet hood,
right,
they had the ZL2 hood. The ZL2 hood was equipped with the flapper. And the flapper worked when you stepped on the gas about 80%, the flapper would open.
And then it would. Now, is that what that little hole is for? Probably.
Right over here.
Like the hole. So this hood could have a flap. Like the interior of this hood then would be like for a flapper. They could install one.
They could install this in there, but it's not for me. It's not
right. Right.
But it had a different air cleaner.
Okay.
And like I said, 80% throttle. There was a solenoid that opened the flap, and then supposedly the cold air was sucked into the engine.
Okay.
I guess it made it run better.
Now, does this still have points or anything, or is this upgraded to the?
It is upgraded inside. It's got the Petronics ignition.
Okay, so this is a Petronics one that has the two wires on the coil.
Right, but
it looks original, but it actually, you can tell because of the extra wire
on the coil. When I bought it, I thought it had a set of points in it until I went to change the intake manifold. I had a leak there. Okay. And that's how I noticed it had Petronics in there. So I see what they did.
Gotcha.
But the car was repainted last year actually, and
I think you said the shade's just a little off from the Le Mans, but not. The only way you can probably tell is if you parked it next to one. Like, yeah.
It's a Le Mans blue color. It's got a little more blue in it. And what they did for me, from the factory, this stripe was painted.
Okay.
And from the factory, this stripe was taped.
Okay.
But they actually painted the whole stripe on.
Oh, that's painted on?
That's painted on.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's painted on the door and the.
Wow. Yeah, that's under the. Yeah. And this must. How many coats of clear does this thing have? Because it's got a lot. It looks good.
I'm keeping this car, and I have no intention of selling it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, the clear coat on this is like, how many coats they put on about? They put a bunch, because this thing is like, it looks like glass.
It's a base coat, clear coat.
Yeah, but it looks like glass.
Well, the car's clean.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, actually my plans on this is, when I leave this earth, my daughters are going to get these cars.
I thought you were going to be buried in it.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to be buried. I have a 23 T-buck at home.
Okay.
which my dad bought a 69 Chevelle in 1969, and I always said that I was going to take his engine and build a hot rod.
Nice.
And they always told me I was crazy. Well, when he passed away, I took the engine out of the car and got rid of the body, and I built the 23 T-bucket.
Wow.
And I built that for my oldest daughter. So, and she was about 3 years old at the time, and she used it through high school. And,
Now that's a cool daughter.
Right. And right now she's in the military. She's a lieutenant colonel in the military.
Okay.
She served in
Well, you're
Iraq.
retired as well.
I'm retired.
Thanks for your
Also.
service. So.
And well, she's going to get that car. And my other daughter, more than likely, will get this Camaro.
Okay.
But each one of my daughters are going to have a car. It's actually on my door. I think my son-in-laws are waiting. But that's the plan.
He's
right
like,
now.
Dad, we got car shows to go to. Hurry up.
Yeah, I think they're going to get these cars. I have no intention to sell this.
Well, it's beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to us about your
Right.
car. I like to get the look of the inside. Now, is this the original color?
Yes.
So is it, but not original paint?
No. It's
So
been
it's-
repainted, but it's back to its original color.
Okay. And now, are these the radials with the red line, or are these the 2-ply with the red
No,
line?
these are radials.
Okay.
These are.
So they're the ones that look like
Right.
the 2-ply,
Right.
but they're actually
Yeah,
a
these are
radial.
give you a much safer and smoother ride, and but believe it or not, I bought these tires back in 1999. They're getting
Oh,
a little-
wow.
They're getting a little old.
Now, the rim on this, because you have the trim ring and center ring, so
Right.
they look fat. Is this a period correct, or is this a reproduction?
No,
or, you know?
these are actually new old stock.
Because they're shallow. They're a lot shallower than the ones that you buy now.
Right, 67s had a different offset than 68 and 69.
Now, are they rear and front?
Are exactly the same.
They are exactly the
Yeah.
same. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So-
This is the only car only Camaro in 1967 that would have had 15-inch wheels.
Oh yeah, everything else came with 14.
14.
Everything back then came with 14.
Yeah, this is the only Camaro. That's another way you can tell it's a Z28.
Oh, so this is a Z. I thought it was
Yeah.
an SS for some reason.
No.
So this is a real Z, but where's
Yeah.
the Z?
There is no badging on.
There's
on
no
60
badging on the
67.
67.
There you-
So it was the. So it's a
wasn't-
Z28 option,
Right.
and it could have just as well been called a Z22 option then, because it wasn't a brand.
No, it wasn't a brand. It was just happened to be the designation that Chevrolet gave the production of the car, and what it included was 12-bolt rear end, special high performance 302 engine, and manual transmission and power brakes. That power brakes was a must, power disc brakes, I should say.
And that
a
was
must.
the package.
That was the package. And anything else that you wanted, you could get a Rally Sport on top of the Z28 package. You can get a different color stripes.
Could you get the SS, like an RS SS Z28 back then, or you would even have to choose
You could
between
get
SS and
well,
Z28?
you wouldn't get an SS, but you can get a Rally Sport Z28
right
RS.
Okay, the RS. So you could have
Right.
got the
Hideaway
extra
headlights.
hideaway headlights
Right,
and
right,
such.
Right. No spoiler on the rear. Flat hood. There was no cowl inducted hood yet.
Right, and they didn't,
available.
and it didn't have the dual whatever.
Oh, the snorkel things on the
things
that
on
was
the side, right?
Yeah.
That was the SS package, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Wow.
I'd say it's pretty much, you know, it was built to be a performance car to compete in road racing, and ended up being a pretty good drag racing car too.
Yeah, and you redid this?
Yes.
So you
other than the paint, you know.
Right.
But I did sand on the car quite a bit.
right, but I mean, it's been it was revived by
Oh,
you
yeah, completely.
because
completely.
I think you said it was not a.
It was a basket.
It was a
case.
basket, but I mean, if it's an original Z, it's definitely
Yeah.
was worth.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it didn't come with a vinyl top.
You could have gotten a vinyl
Right,
top
but this
on
one
it.
didn't.
No.
because a lot of people don't put vinyl, like even if it had one, they take them off.
Right.
So you don't, but
In the paint code, it would have either, after the number, it would either have a 1 or a 2. I believe 1 was white top and 2 was a black top.
so you had the two choices.
Yeah, I had 2 choices.
So this is kind of weird that we've got an SS 69 that didn't have a vinyl top.
Right.
And this, because most of the Camaros that I remember back in the day, I would say about 2/3 of them came with vinyl tops, and neither one of yours has that. They're both vinyl, no vinyl top.
And I owned a 69 Z28, a yellow one with a black vinyl top. Almost like this, bucket seats, no console, no gauges, just a no frill Z28. I had one, so yes, I've seen quite a few Z28s with the vinyl top.
Yeah.
I think the dealers at the time ordered the cars that way in order to boost the price. You know,
Yeah,
add a vinyl
well,
top
I mean,
and make a little money.
Vinyl. Everybody wanted vinyl tops up until, you know.
Yeah, that was fashionable.
Yeah. The only thing I remember about vinyl tops is, as a kid, we had a car with a vinyl top, and we went through a place called Great Adventure in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, I remember Great Adventure.
And you could go through, and they had monkeys. You could drive in your car, and the monkeys started pulling apart my dad's vinyl top and eating it while we were going through.
Where in New Jersey?
I think it's exit 7A, because
No,
everything's.
but where did you live in?
Oh, I lived in Pennsylvania, in Bucks
Oh,
County,
okay,
right
you went
across
over.
the river.
Okay. I lived about a half hour in New Jersey from.
Oh, okay.
Adventure.
Yeah, I think it's. God, it's only been.
I think it's
like,
exit 7 off the turnpike.
Yeah, it's like exit. I remember exit 7A from the commercials.
Jackson Township.
So I don't even know if it's still there. I mean, last time I thought about was 84.
Yeah, I think the
but
Great Adventures are still, still there. Yeah.
and what is this
That
for? Is
is-
that for you or?
No, that was an option, an over-the-counter option that you could get. This is a heat shield to keep the heat from the manifold going into the carburetor. But that's a genuine over-the-counter.
So and
performance
they
part.
had the firing order and all on like
Stamped
that?
in there.
And
Just
what
like
is
that.
this number?
That's the part number.
Oh.
That's the part number for the part.
Wow.
Yeah.
So and that was just an option that you could get?
Over-the-counter option, yes.
Nice.
And I knew about it, so when
Right.
I put the car together, I made sure I got a hold of it.
Oh wow.
You know, I wanted it. I know it's
Right.
it's a great thing because again, it just dissipates the heat from the carburetor. And
Now-
it's a Chevrolet part.
Now are the valve covers? Are they Camaro?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I see the cross flags and it looks like Corvette.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's Chevy. That's like
That's
SS,
Chevrolet.
because I saw them. It's the same things you
Yeah.
would see on
They use
a
them.
Nova SS or
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and then would these be day 2 add-ons, or
You could have ordered the car from the factory with headers that would have been put in the trunk, and then the dealer would have installed them for you. So
Okay.
it was an option.
okay? So everything on here is
So believe
is
it or
correct.
not, those headers used to be on my race car.
Oh, on the 68.
Yeah, on the 68. I had them. I ended up getting a set of more performance headers for the race car.
Now the 68, that's an SS.
That's just a rally.
Or that's a
sport.
rally sport.
Just only a rally
Okay.
sport.
Okay.
Only a rally sport.
And then this came with the power brakes.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
standard. You had
That's
to
what
have
you were
power
saying.
power brakes.
That's part of the
for
Z28 package?
Yeah.
Okay.
12-volt rear power brakes, the engine, and that's about it.
Wow. So this, if you, other than maybe the yellow or the yellow,
wrong
right?
spark
Right.
plug.
But other than that, this is a 302
Yeah.
like Z28
Yeah.
engine right there.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
with all the goodies.
All the good stuff.
So, well, cool. Well, thank both you guys.
All right,
man.
John.
Thank you both for parking next to each other, so I didn't have to go walking around looking for you and everything. And like I said, we've seen both these guys before. I've tried to get both cars done. They were not parked near each other. I've seen them at different shows, and today it just so happens that they parked right next to each other. So it's very easy. And then you're gonna see your 68 in here, or the race car as well, because I'm gonna throw that in. But
Okay.
but these two, both these cars, it's pretty amazing. And looking at them side by side, you could definitely see. A lot of people say they can't see the difference between a 67, 68, 69, but when you park them next to each other, you could definitely see
The 69 had a different body style.
yeah. And I think it's actually wider.
It's but they made it look wider because
Yeah.
of the fender. They put the fender down a little bit. Do the research, look at the rear fender.
Yeah.
69, they made it come out to make the car look wider.
And then
But it's just
some of the differences between that and the fenders is the easiest way to tell is the windows, because this has a vent. Now the 68 does not have a vent. So 67, if you see a vent, that tells you it's a 67. And just because you don't see Z28 on the side does not mean it is not a Z28. In fact, if it says Z28 and it's a 67, somebody added those badges. So that's another way to look at one and go, okay, that was played around with, or maybe it's not real. But the best way is to look at the tags on the cow. They will tell you the whole story on what these are.
This one's an X22 body, which was a Super Sport, but the X22 trim.
And then Z28 is obviously Z28. So, and nobody has a 67 SS Z28.
No,
because they don't exist.
You could get a Rally Sport Z28, but not a...
So if somebody's driving around with SS on the side and Z28 this and that, then they're just... They haven't read the right books yet. So anyway, thanks. If you like these kind of cars, which I don't know anybody who doesn't, unless you're like just a Mustang dude, then please subscribe, click like, put in comments if you have any questions, because these guys are probably really knowledgeable on these cars.
I got this car because of this girl here. I mean, I'm married to someone now 50 years, and I tell you, she's the one who let me get this car.
There you go.
I mean, it's something else. You know, most guys don't have wives that let them.
Yeah, most of the guys would have this car and they have a couch. How you doing?
Good, how about you?
So you're the original owner?
Original owner.
And it still says 307 on the side.
It does say 307.
And I love that, because we all had 307s and everybody took the badges off and took the engines, told everybody it was a 350.
My first wife bought it new.
Really?
Well, I didn't want to do that because my first wife bought this thing. She got it in May of '69. She ordered it. In April of '69, I bought a Hemi in a Super B.
Okay.
'69 Super B, same color. So
and it was just the RS. It's not the SS. It's just the RS package.
the RS package.
Is this the original paint or has it been repainted?
No, it was repainted down here.
Okay.
And the engine was rebuilt 4 years ago. Bored out, 30,000's over.
Okay.
So it's and it's got dual chamber exhaust now.
But other than that, pretty factory?
Oh yeah.
So pretty cool.
Can't tell you how many times I've been offered for this.
Oh, now
I have a daughter who lives in Hawaii, and my grandson, they don't want it.
And that's I hear that all the time.
I have a nephew that has been in love with this car since he was a kid in high school from Lansing, Michigan.
Huh.
And I told him, I said, well, we'll work a deal out for it. And so he's going to end up with it. But the deal is, you never change it. It stays stock.
And that's, you know, nobody would have thought 20 years ago or 40 years ago that a 307 Camaro would have been worth anything. And now this is the second one we found. That there's a convertible blue one. There's a white one down in Naples that the original owner, a convertible white one.
Well, I lived up
in
South Bend, Mishawaka area, Indiana.
Yeah.
And I went down to lunch one day, and here sits a Z28 on a lot.
Right.
I go in there and talk to him. Now I was going to need quarters and stuff like that on. That was okay. So I talked to him. It was, numbers matching. So I said, okay, I'll come back after work, take a look and see what you got. Well, I didn't get to that night. I went the next night. It was gone.
Yeah. Well, that happens.
Because I wanted to get a Z28 and I wanted to get an RSSS convertible.
Right.
Now I'd like to get a 2019 convertible. Have it repainted this color blue. Have the top pulled and get the material, have the blue top done.
Right.
And the guy that I had the interior done down in, he did my headliner down in Naples, said he would do the interior to match.
There you
so
go.
he'd pull the seats and all the seats would match.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So it'd be a 50th anniversary car.
Well. So guys, right here we have a Survivor, except for the paint job. It's got some day 2 stuff done to it that we would all probably do to the car, which isn't a whole lot. And it's another RS 307 original car. So, anyway, well, thanks guys. We'll talk to you next time. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.